welcome you to Gardens Oval for round 13 in the NTFL competition on a pretty good wet season afternoon. I don't think we're going to get your own. Jared Eilert joins me in the commentary box. It's not so much a commentary box, we're sitting up in the top of the grandstand, but the view's a beauty, Jared, isn't it?
Al fresco. No, it's good, Charlie. It's a nice breeze coming through. It is hot out there, though. There is some dark clouds in the background, but I think they will push the other way and we should have a ripper game.
Tell us about the weather. Kieran Davis down there on the boundary line. Kieran.
Well, it certainly is a very picturesque ground, but it's not going to be very pretty for the players. It's going to be very, very hot out there. I reckon they'll struggle throughout the 4 quarters with this kind of blanket heat just bearing down on the ground. Very sunny out there today. There's a bit of cloud cover that could relieve them, but pretty hot for the time being.
Well, it's all getting underway here. Our first game after Christmas here at Gardens Oval that we're covering. Tars with a handball out there in the direction of Tobus Hunkin, didn't get it. Saints get control of the footy now, can bring it off from back on the wing. Here's a handball going backwards there by Musgrave. He didn't play last week, he's playing this week. Wilson front position, they got to him and knocked it to ground. Good work there. O'Connor comes away with the footy. High kick up the centre half forward. Althouse in good position, knocked away. Ball straight into the hands here for Saints with a hurried kick. Oh, didn't work that well. It was intended for Wilson. It's been cut off out there though. Pretty good work there by Bowen. And he sets it across field, links it up through Justin Bugler. What a great player Bugler is. You played with him at Thunder, didn't you?
Yes, I did. And he started in the midfield, so a bit of a change for him. He normally controls the back line for Waratahs, but he started in the midfield, see how he goes.
Well, why not? I mean, they haven't won a game. They've won one, but they took the points off them. So they've just got to do something here to get this game.
It looks like they brought in some size too, Charlie. You just caught Jackson Bowen there, and he's a big boy.
Some big outs for Saints, though, from last week. Eilert's gone, Cameron on, Daniel Lewis not playing, Ewing's out, Parnell's not playing, Rioli Van Noonan, that's Shannon Rioli. But they've picked up a few extra. He had a quiet game last week, Justin Wilson, with his kick, and it's been cut off back there for Tars, and they can bring it out here towards the wing. They got clear and a little bit of space there. Matt Green.
Matthew Green, don't know a lot about him, but he's playing up high and got his hands on the footy early.
Put up high there for Shaper. Shaper didn't get it. Whistle went, free kick in it. Tars with the advantage here, can run away. His Shaper's kicked down from a long way out to the goal square and cut off on the last line of defence. So Saints good there. They clear it out. Good kick out here to Jack Long. Gee, that name, I was thinking of the great St Mary's players who played here over the years. Jack Long himself. I saw him coming in through the gate a short time ago. He played here, didn't he, many, many years ago. The father of all those Long boys. He's
very highly regarded at St Mary's Footy Club, Charlie, and obviously when he walked in with Michael Long and Chris Long and Noel Long played here as well, so there's plenty of talent in that family.
John Athanasiou, who's of course the brother of Mick Athanasiou, we talked to last week. Iggy Veloso surpassed his St Mary's record. He got it down to McFarlane, who went down towards the pocket, and a handball here. This is Port Jimmy, rolls it along the line. And the ball's still in the field of play, and a little knock back there, and Saints go in and kick the first goal. Easy as you like, and that's straight through the middle.
Well, it should have been easy as you like, but they did do it the hard way, Charlie. Poor Jimmy, he ran into an open goal, should have just chipped over the top there, and no doubt Ralph Clark would be telling him to do so next time, but they got the goal, the end result, and St Mary's first on the board.
So good goal to Saints early on. They got the first goal. Didn't the clock's not working, surprisingly, over there. So Jared, your job will be to keep you have to tell us how long we've got to go.
Yeah, all right, let's see how we go.
How long in the quarter? So Saints with the aid of, and there's no windsock. Kieran, can you tell us, is the breeze blowing down to that end that St Mary's are kicking to?
Looks to be blowing sort of diagonally and sort of towards the Waratahs end a bit, I reckon. But there's not a lot in it. I wouldn't say a goal either way.
They took the sock down, did Waratahs. They said, we don't want Saints to know.
Well, the home ground advantage for Waratahs, so they will use that to their advantage, and obviously the home crowd.
Barber doing some work in the middle there. Hard run at the footy was Rivers. J.O. Rivers, don't know much about him. Here's the kick, Leroy Larson inside 50. Wanted Clark, got it down to Ralph Clark. He couldn't control the footy. Pushed off at Port Jimmy. Kick comes back here, and Bugler with a run at the footy. He picked it up well. Played it like a good defender, didn't he?
He did.
Is he going to play loose across that half-back line, do you think, or not? There's Holthouse with a handball.
I think he was just working back, helping his midfield or defensive players through the midfield. So when you pick the ball up cleanly like that, you give yourself some time and a bit more space to make those decisions.
Now, interestingly, Jared, throughout the year, and Waratahs, we don't labour too much the fact that You know, they've been a miserable side this year. They really haven't done much. But they have shown just about every game that the first quarter they can be quite competitive. In fact, they've been in front in some games.
Well, they've got some pretty handy players, Charlie, but we've spoken about trying to bring it all together at once, which has been quite difficult. And if you go through the team sheet again today, there's a lot of new players and a lot of ins that you just can't sort of get that consistency week in, week out if there's so many changes.
So Basil Oldhouse giving up the free kick there. Umpire's going to bring it back. He's going to play down in the forward line. Where's number 6 for the Red and Whites? So St Mary's in the green and gold. They were beaten last week by Wanderers. They were just beaten by a team who was too quick getting to the footy. Wanderers just can get 3 or 4 players there, like that 15 metres. They are very quick, aren't they, the Eagles?
They've got that over St Mary's, that foot speed, closing speed, and their defence was just ruthless last week, and they got the result.
Oldhouse was running into it, almost an open goal. Only one player in front of him was Anstess, and he kicked it straight to him. Here's Athanasia off the left boot, peels it out nicely, gave it out to Herbison, cross half back. Gee, looks like his brother, doesn't he? Off the left boot he goes.
His father.
Yeah, his father, brother. I was thinking of his brother Leo played, his uncle Leo played as well, didn't he? Leo Athanasiou, I reckon he had a couple of games for Saints, didn't he?
Does ring a bell, Charlie.
It's the kick out very, very wide. That's going to go out of bounds on the full. It is, so Saints going to keep the pressure on. Might be Bath with the free kick. Got Stapleton's old number 17.
Yep, not a very good kick. Can't turn it over, chip it inside, Charlie.
Oldhouse, good handball. Here's Hunkin. Hunkin's kick inside 50. They look so slight. Here's Oldhouse. Gets around on the right, but there's no one in the goal square. He'll line up from a long way out and have a long shot. It's a good-looking kick, but it just sets up.
Bounce.
It just sat up in the goal square for Anstess because he was prepared to run to it. It was a gift in the end for him.
I reckon the coach would be pretty happy with that. Take the responsibility, just get it in deep, and you know the bounce of the ball, Charlie. If it goes that way, it works in the defence's favour. If it goes the other way, it's a goal. So very unlucky.
I reckon that breeze Kieran Davis is blowing to the St Mary's end. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it might be now. It's also picked up a bit of rain now, so it's still pretty sunny out there, but the rain started falling. A bit of extra relief for the players, I guess.
All right, sun shower.
Teasing.
Yep.
Weather's teasing, I reckon.
So if you're watching this and you can see on the screen of those trees in the background, that's the Botanic Gardens, the Darwin Botanic Gardens, and it's a great scene here for footy, isn't it? This used to be the home of footy for many, many years. Some great grand finals. Did you play any senior footy here?
I did, Charlie, I did. But when I started playing, the home of footy was Marara. But you do hear the stories. You can actually feel the tradition that is here when you come and play. And there's been some great crowds. And even a couple of Thunder games we played here in 2010. And a lot of the people and the fans and the players that you've just mentioned came out for that game. And it was a really good feeling.
The Queen visited here once.
Yeah,
74, I reckon it was.
I understand it was a Waratahs St Mary's grand final that time, and she wore red and white, and Waratahs won.
Saints never forgave her.
And Uncle Vic never forgives forgave her after that.
Jack Long actually played in that game. He was on Selwyn Short, I remember. I watched that game. Selwyn Short played for Tars. He was a very dangerous player. And Jack did something a little bit illegal. Well, not a little bit. It was highly illegal.
I don't believe it.
Early in the game to put Selwyn Short out of it. Justin Wilson looking for the foot. He couldn't get it. Hard run there by Leroy Larson. Good to see him back in the team. The ones in Port Jimmy, we said Musgraves in, Price is in, Anthony Long and Cullen all come in for St Mary's. Makes them any stronger, do you think?
They've got some depth, Charlie, but again, it's about the speed. I think that's the one quality that St Mary's. I mean, if they can control the footy, it doesn't matter. But what Wanderers showed last week, their defensive pressure through speed was very good.
Larson out there. How good's Anstess back there in defence? Like he's repelled him at least, I reckon, 3 or 4 times in just a couple of minutes of footy, hasn't he?
Well, I like how you call it, Charlie. It's as if the opposition kick to his lead.
Yeah.
That's how he reads the play well.
He knows. Well, even that pass was an open goal. They kicked it straight to him.
Exactly.
Standing in the goal square. He said, thanks very much. He must think footy's an easy game. For the rest of us, we're just chasing it all day. Well, not so much you. Ball on that wing on the far side. Not a lot of people down. It's a hot day. It's a really hot day for footy. This is round 13 of the NTFL, 18-round competition. St Mary's were top. at the Christmas break, then lost to Wanderers last week and lost their position. They want to turn it around here, but they've given some of those key players, your brother, for one, Cameron Island, given him a rest. That's a wise thing to do, I think, when you play the bottom side.
Well, he became a dad for the third time, Charlie, during the week on Monday. So he had his third child, a little girl named Summer Eilert. So congratulations, Cameron and Jade.
Oh, lovely. And Jade, of course, is a boundary ump. She's still been umpiring.
I think she's having a break this year.
She's going to have a break.
But she's normally out there running around the boundary and does a good job.
So good on you, Cam. Congratulations. I'm sure he planned all of that. The club would have planned it. You have the baby on that date, and that's the date we play Waratahs. That's the date you can have a break.
That's right. It was a contract between St Mary's Football Club and Jade.
It's worked well. Out along the boundary line, some hard work there. That's Anthony Long. So where's Anthony Long fit in the long picture?
Good question, Charlie.
We'll leave that one for Kieran to find out.
But he spent some time at Essendon as well. I don't think he ended up playing any games, but he's had some injury trouble since coming back. But when he is fit and up and running, he's another general for the St Mary's defence.
Well, a lot of people who've been watching this will know Ben Rioli. Of course, we've watched the NEFL, and what a star he was for Thunder. What's his story? We haven't seen that much of him this year.
Yeah, I don't know the injury exactly, but I just walked past him last week and he said, no, I'm not 100%, so I'm not 100% sure what's wrong with him. But again, if he can get fit up and going before finals, he's going to be pretty handy inclusion.
This is a long kick. This is a goal.
That's a great goal.
That might be Green, is it, out on that far side?
It is, Charlie. Matthew Green. He's obviously done some work up the ground, but on that occasion he's slotted the goal for Waratahs. Normally that end, the St Mary's end, is the goal kicking, so every goal you can get going this way is a bonus.
Yeah. Some of the crowd there you can see sitting at the footy in the old stand. And that's that whole area is a cricket area in the middle there. You can see they play cricket here during the dry season, and they look after that area in there during the footy as well. So it can't be that easy to play on. Here's Jack Williams, brings it around the corner down to half forward. Good kick. McFarlane needs to get involved in the game this week, doesn't he? He needs a good hard run. He needs to kick some goals, get his confidence. Kick out of a pack, rolls away alongside the behind post. In fact, it just went through for a minor score. So Saints put their noses in front at the, where are we, 11 minutes. We've got it up on the screen. That's good, 11 and a half minutes. Because you can hear the wind, a strong breeze blowing here. That's a thumping kick out in front position. Good strong mark, Labastida. He's coming to his own this year, Labastida. I reckon he's been good. Goes to the pocket. Port Jimmy, the target, reaches over the back. Got to the footy, got onto the left boot, banged away at goal, missed to the near side. Minor score, showed a little bit of explosive pace and dodgem footy there.
And the defender there was James Waratahs. And again, another new name for us, Charlie, into the side for Waratahs. And I think that matchup's exactly working St Mary's favour with Port Jimmy.
Waratahs.
Waratahs.
Might call him machine gun. Kick out very, very wide there. And, Lachlan Barber out there. Came off his hands and over the boundary line. So Saints still have it where they want it. It's hard. The trees are there, but without the windsock, we can feel the breeze up here, but you can't really get a sense of whether there's a strong breeze or not. But it generally favours the end of the St Mary's kicking, which is, the city end, isn't it?
Correct, yeah, normally, and that's why those goals down the other side, every single one of them is a bonus.
There's some scrambly footy at the moment. Ball comes back in play. Hard run at the footy that time by Hunkin. Drawn himself a free kick. Tobias Hunkin spears it along the wing. Good kick out towards the boundary line though it goes. Greg McLeish to see it over for Tars. He preferred he could have got it back in, but even if he had it, they would have wrapped him up, I reckon. He had nowhere to go. The Saints defence is pretty tight back there, led by John Ernst, as we've mentioned. Doing the ruck work down there is Velastro.
Yeah, interesting to see how they're rotating their big guys, Charlie, because even we called Justin Busico through the midfield, but he actually went in the ruck the last ball up for centre bounce, and they've got some big boys that they can rotate, so I'll keep an eye on that and see what unfolds, but they've got some options.
So Price is going to do the ruck work for Saints. So normally Ryan Smith does it, doesn't he? Then Lewis has come in. And now this is like the third ruckman, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. So again, another area for St Mary's to concentrate on and get some stability.
That's a good
Nice
handball.
hands.
This is Mark McLean, comes away with the foot. He showed some good form. That's a great kick forward too. Put it out in front of Raf Clark. Didn't get hold of it though. Some work down there. Joshy Heath working hard across the half forward line. Kick out of bounds. One thing doesn't change at the footy at Gardens Oval. Those people who want a free peek, they're always over there along the fence. You can see their cards. They're all having to look for nothing.
Correct. That is a constant. Good defender there for Waratahs, and Connor Brown, he wore Raf Clark like a glove on that occasion and created the turnover.
Knocked back towards the boundary line. That's Rivers. So, yes, Raf Clark is missing. I was just trying to work out who else might be missing from last week for Saints. But Raf Clark's there, of course.
Yep.
So that's forced towards the boundary line. Josh O'Brien. So 15 minutes gone here, first term. Sometimes you see the big flame tree over there in the gardens, don't you? It's all green this time of the year, the wet season. Handball, but here's Joshy Heath. Well, it's it for him. He gets to it. They got to him. Port Jimmy with the handball out, turned it over. And Henry Keranua wanted to run away with the footy. Umpire said, no, I reckon he's picked out a free kick. Saints might get it here. Directly out in front. So Henry Keranua, that's another one of those Tiwi Islands. There's been just a few every now and then that play for Tars. They haven't really got them. I reckon back in the early days it might have been Willie Rioli, might have been the... Although Marius Purantatameri played for Tars all those years ago, the motorbike man. But in more recent times, Willie Rioli went away. But
yeah, Paddy Heenan was another one that has played for Waratahs. Obviously, Alistair Darcy as well. But he's changed clubs. But nice goal there for Josh Heath. He's in a bit of trouble though. He got injured in that contest, but he won the free kick. Finished off the hard work, kicked the goal, and now he's going to have to come off.
Those little legs have been hurt. He's got to come off and they'll do some work on it. You have to do some microsurgery on it or something.
He's a pretty tough player though, Charlie.
Yeah, he is indeed. He's been around a long time too. Wonder how many games would he have played for St Mary's by now? Goodness, it's not on that list, is it? Have a look at that St Mary's list, might give us a bit of an idea. Josh, 97, so he's getting close to 100.
You want to say close to 100. The amount of years he's been at the club, but yeah, he's cemented a spot for himself in the side.
Wilson with the hurried kick out of the middle worked pretty well, straight into the hands there of Jordan Cullen at the true centre half forward position. Jerry Rowe back in 1960 kicked this into the cemetery at the back there with a big torpedo. This is a left foot kick that's not going to quite make the distance, but Clark takes a terrific mark down there. Good mark to Raf Clark.
Yep, play in front. You normally put yourself in the best position to take those marks if they fall short.
So he's tucked away in the forward pocket. Raf Clark, former St Kilda player, bangs it into the goal post. Minor result, the score. We want to mention throughout the game some of those great players, Jared, don't we? I mean, the game is a spectacle.
100 years.
Give us an opportunity to talk about some of those players over the years. We'll mention them and have a bit of a chat about them throughout the game. Knocked towards the boundary line. Didn't go over, though. Handball here in the direction of Mitchell Price, the ruckman. Now it rolls over the boundary line. It's a little scrambly early on. 17.5 minutes gone. St Mary's 2-2, Waratahs a goal.
Yes, Charlie, 100 years of footy, as the signage on the ground tells us, and we will be looking back through the years, over the years, about all the legendary players that might stake a claim in the team of the century as well.
Now there's a kick that's missed everything, gone out of bounds on the full. I think, in fact, it has. So Tars will bring it in, and they're going to go searching out there for Fraser Jennings. He's been amongst their better players, Fraser Jennings. Had a good game last week, although they were hopelessly thrashed by the Tiwi Bombers. He's a left footer. He kicks big climb from the back. Ball goes to ground. All St Mary's down there to pick it up. Advantage played. The shaper to get away with it.
Brodie Ross is one of those big players that Coach Tim Weatherald has at his disposal. And they're just sort of playing wide at the moment, Waratahs. If they can get a little bit more direct and use their big players through the middle, it might give them a few more opportunities, scoring entries inside the forward 50 and the scoring opportunities.
You wouldn't know this, but how difficult is it to play with a team like this? I mean, and I'm talking about Waratahs, you know, winless, and each week you just keep turning up, and it just must be tough on players, don't it? I mean, you've got to give them credit. They train still and they play still, don't they?
Well, I think it's the potential, Charlie, and no doubt every week there's been 5, 10, 15 minutes of really good footy that gives you the potential to build on as a coaching staff and team, and you just got to keep positive and keep working.
Wilson went to Bath, who went down to Clark, and Clark got into some trouble. He did get the hand away to Mark McLean. So holding the man without the ball, I think, is the call down there. An advantage played. Ball gone out very wide there, Sam Talbot. Another one of those players they can build a bit of a team around. What about Tim Weatherall? I mean, I think his time at the club ends this year, a 2-year deal.
Yeah, but no doubt they'll go through the normal process of review and have a look at all the players that have actually played over the season, and I think Waratahs would have the longest list in the competition with the amount of new names in the team today. But obviously it's up to the committee and the coaching staff to do a club review and see what plans need to be put in place for 2016-17.
20 minutes gone. Saints got it out on the wing, and that kick's going to go out of bounds. We can get down to Kieran. Kieran, got anything for us down there?
Not really, but St Mary's, they haven't really had as much of the ball, I don't think, but it's been a lot more clinical. They've been able to get it into inside 50 a lot easier than Waratahs, I think.
So Tars probably just a couple of times inside, probably only 3 or 4 times inside 50. But they've got down towards the 50-metre line. Here's Saints now with a deep kick. Port Jimmy in good position, gets over the back. They will run back and clean it up. Good work in defence there. This is Connor Brown. He's a likely type, isn't he, Connor Brown? Good kick out towards the wing.
Yeah, he's done some pretty handy stuff for Waratahs so far. But, it's just how many times was that out of bounds on the full? Probably the 3rd or 4th time already.
Out that side,
out that side.
Because sometimes you just got to switch the play, don't you?
And take a risk. I mean, Sam Talbot tried to come in the middle then and just over kicked it. But why not? Try to play a bit more direct through the midfield and get a break.
That was Smith, Bowen Smith. All Saints down there, but the clean-up for Tars. Handball was under duress.
Here we go, Charlie. We might get some play on this side.
They come out towards the crowd.
I'll be asking for a refund.
Bowen, Jackson Bowen did well. Handed straight over to Herbison. Herbison's going to have a shot from a long way out and miss. Off to the right, minor score. Just when we thought we were going to see some action down in front of us.
Yeah, there's not a lot of cohesion in the St Mary's forward line, and we noticed that last week as well. Good courage shown there by Marius Clark and his older brother coming over the top.
Big Bowen went up for that. That was just those little things like that. That mark should have been held really there by Gooch. Handball came out from Smith. Gooch in there looking for it again. Saints get to the footy, and some good hard work here again by Smith. Wins it. Go through. Hunker gets it out this time to O'Brien. O'Brien inside 50 with the kick. Oldhouse front position. Couldn't control it. Left it on the ground. Saints with the clean up here. And from the half back line, where are they going to go? With a short kick. Instance was in the way. They didn't bother giving it. Went instead and gave it off to Musgrove. Musgrove inside, defensive 50. He's going to come to our side. That's nice of him. Siren brings it to an end. Not an eventful quarter, but not a bad one for St Mary's, and Tars will feel okay. They did kick a goal in that quarter to Matt Green, but it's the Saints in front at quarter time. 2-4 to Tars, 1 goal. Jared Eilert with his thoughts.
Yeah, not a lot, I guess, to get too excited about, Charlie. I think both teams need to have a look at playing a little bit more direct. But better players, Bugler, Talbot and O'Connor, I think, down back for Waratahs. Justin Wilson working hard through the midfield for St Mary's. John Anstess, we called his name a couple of times there. And also, who was it? Ben Long. So coaches will no doubt try and fire their players up and try to get a little bit of excitement in the game, but go a little bit more direct.
So quarter time here, you're watching the footy from Gardens Oval in Darwin. It's round 13 of the NTFL. We are celebrating NT footy 100 years this year. We'll talk more about some of the great players from the past during the coverage of this match. But quarter time, it's the Saints up 2-4 to Waratahs 1 goal.
Weather is part of life in the Territory. It's unpredictable when it comes and in what it leaves behind. That's why Territorians need the right insurance cover for their home and contents. Local knowledge is important. Talk to TIO about Territory home insurance for Territory conditions. So before it happens, call 131-TIO or visit tiofi.com.au. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Jade.
Tom! Fire! Matty, straight out! Spirit around another metre. Good girl. Good girl.
Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball.
Play on! All clear.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
I'm ready. Yep.
So welcome you back to Gardens Oval. Quarter time here, St Mary's 2-4, leading Waratah 1 goal. Jared on it with me.
Yeah, I thought Waratahs did pretty well just to put the pressure on Saints enough to unsettle their normal sort of cohesion up forward. And I do believe the City side end is the scoring end. So if they can turn that into a bit more attacking options, Waratahs should be able to get on the scoreboard a little bit more this quarter.
Let's get down to Kieran Davis. Kieran.
I went down to the Waratahs huddle, and Tim Weatherold, who wasn't too upset with that quarter, he reiterated to the players they need to keep the team structure. They need to make sure they do the 1%ers, the hard stuff, and that's going to be the only way to unsettle the St Mary's defence, because it's going to be a long uphill struggle. He knows that St Mary's are just going to keep on coming, so it's going to be a real hard effort all day.
Okay, he knows that. Players that know it as well. Here's the first shot for Tars, though, off the boot of Oldhouse. Kicks it out of bounds, and out of bounds on the full.
Every game we've called, Charlie, with Oldhouse, he's been a very good contributor. So he's a dangerous player, and hopefully he can start getting his kicks a little bit straighter. Here he is again. Unfortunately, juggling the mark at the last occasion there, and it goes over the boundary. But he's been quite a good target for Waratahs up forward.
With some forlornness, he looked at the umpire and said, "Sir, he kicked that out of bounds on the floor." he carried it over the boundary line, caught it and dropped it outside the field of play. St Mary's kick that came in. Here's the handball for Tars. There's a chance. Ross starts it out to the left. So there's a promising start for the Red and Whites.
Yeah, good clearance, doing all the attacking early parts. So if they can get a few goals and put some scoreboard pressure on St Mary's, obviously help towards the back end of the game.
Kick out there. They go out towards that area again. Jared, what
it's
are we going to do? So 1-1 now, Tars, 2-4 St Mary's. I wonder if this will be a high scoring. I mean, the conditions are pretty, they're hot, but you'd expect Saints to kick 18, 20 goals here, wouldn't you, on a day like today?
You know, they're sitting second spot and just got knocked off the top of the ladder, and, you know, they have had some amazing performances throughout the year, and you would expect them to be quite clinical today. But you've got to work yourselves into the game, but I think Waratahs are putting enough pressure on them not to allow them to do that.
Wilson got dispossessed then. Here's a shot from a long way out. That is a long shot for goal. That's going to go all the way, but through for a minor score.
And you see Bugle at full forward now, so he's playing everywhere. Johnny Ansters deep in the pocket, looking for his options, comes down the line in front of the grandstand side. A nice mark taken there by Luke Bath.
Well, Bath, he's given off the handball as well to Ben Long. What's happened here? Ben Long's just, I'm not sure what Ben Long was doing then. He's going to get a free kick in the end anyway. What happened? How did that work out? He gave the handball off. Ben Long just stood there, and then the umpire, what did they do?
I think there's been
demystify that for me, Jared.
Ultimate mix-up there where the umpire thought it was actually Ben Long had the mark. He didn't actually see the handball.
Oh.
And because it was a stop in play, for whatever reason,
I see.
He's called as if he's come over the mark. So
he didn't say play on.
Correct.
Well, Ben, it's Christmas time.
It is, and it's ended up in a forward entry and shot opportunity for St Mary's, and Port Jimmy has a chance for his second goal.
So Port Jimmy, we've got him down as P.O. Port Jimmy. he crosses 50, gets a little stutter, then bangs away with the left boot. It's not a good kick. He didn't get much purchase on it at all. It was wobbly in the end. Tars on the clean-up was pretty good. They can run it out of defence. Barnes with the footy. Goes out towards the wing, or to the half-back line rather. Bouncing ball towards Waratahs. And Waratahs carried it over the boundary line, but the whistle went, and the umpire says, give it to the boundary umpire. You can throw it in. They're over in front of the scoreboard. Saints double. Tars score here at the 4-minute mark. 2 goals, 4-1-2.
And we're just looking at Jack Long in the background there. He's done something to his shoulder. He jumped pretty high and attacked the footy and punched the footy from behind on the last contest. But his left shoulder, he's not moving it, and he's asking for medical assistance.
So Saints with his kick towards the forward pocket. It's difficult back there without Ewing and Van Newen down there. There's no one really to go to. McFarlane, is he out there? I'm not sure that he is he?
He's certainly kitted up.
Here's Iggy Vallejo with the run, then they got to him, he lost it. So Tars dispossessed him and win it across their half-back line up towards their half-forward line. And Bugler wins the free kick. He can look out to his right and see Althouse. He's the form player, but he's gone long to the open goal. Can he make a roll all the way? Of course he can.
A super goal, Charlie. There's the local knowledge for you. Home ground advantage to Waratahs, and he's had many kicks on this ovals before. And no one in the goal square, banged it from about 60 metres, drop punt.
So Bugler gets a goal, the first goal of the second quarter, and Tars get within a couple of points.
He can do it all.
Yeah, he's certainly a great player, and I suppose they're rewarding him for his good work, usually in defence, toss him up forward.
Certainly made kicking long goals look easy then, Charlie.
Well, Saints left it open, didn't they? Left a couple of times open. Now here's Wilson coming away with the footy. Justin Wilson, high kick down to half forward. Ball knocked to ground. Here's Port Jimmy off the left boot, curls it around, kicks the goal. Easy as you like. The reply came back from Saints. Port Jimmy kicked a good goal.
And that's the advantage of getting a quick centre clearance there. And Leroy Larson's gone into the ruck for St Mary's. But nice quick centre clearance. Nice contest by Cullen. Front and centre was Mark McLean. And Port Jimmy able to finish off the work.
I wonder if Saints had a little discussion before the game shut down. Never to be in front of us in this match, because they got within a couple of points there. Had they kicked the next goal, Tars would have put their noses in front. But Saints rallied in a hurry. He's going to do more of the ruck work. Leroy Larson. A bit of shepherding, so Larson's going to win the free kick from the middle. He got right out wide Ben Long. That's the direction he's gone. Ben Long is in good position to take this mark. He left it, come straight over the back, was pretty good, straight into the hands of Herbison. Short kick from him to Joshy Heath, who kicked the goal in the first quarter.
Yeah, Liam O'Connor then just left his opponent and tried to be the third man up to nullify the contest, and unfortunately didn't get quite to it, and the ball come over the back to his opponent, Herbison.
Heath, who had the injury after the last kick, bangs away with this one. Gee, it swings a long way. It was always going to swing a long way.
Like my golf shot, Charlie.
Yeah. Well, it's a sliding mark down there for Saints. That might be Cullen, is it?
Cullen, yes. Comes around on the left foot for a snap. And a minor score. So see how Waratahs set this this kick in, and the man for Waratahs that just seems to do everything. Justin Bugler kicks in long down the line in front of the wing. St Mary's have the numbers though. Jack Long looking to spot up Port Jimmy. A bit of space in the forward pocket, goes to ground.
And they got to him in a hurry too.
Yes.
And that's not going to come out of there. Wilson comes in, a little bit of a don't argue. And then he gets decked. Often the umpire will spot that and give a free kick to the one who started it all.
Normally that happens every time.
But then he saw it was Wilson and said, no, you probably deserve that. Good hard run from defence there. So Tars win the free kick, or win the mark rather, and that's Connor Brown He's done a couple of handy things already. Here's his kick. He's going to take it right to the boundary line, just too wide. And he kicks it out of bounds on the full.
He's trying to get the crowd involved though, Charlie.
Oh, that's where his interchange players sit. So the resultant free kick to Leroy Larson. 60 metres out from goal. Comes into the field of play. Bangs it up to the top of the goal square. Clark the target. Ralph Clark was interfered with, according to him, and I reckon the umpire might have agreed with him. They blocked his run, didn't they? He wanted to go for the footy, but it's not Clark that's getting the free kick. It's Cullen, is it, in the end? So he was blocked. So there were a couple of Saints players blocked back there, denied the opportunity to take a mark.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Waratahs certainly had the numbers and they set that up pretty well. And, you know, McFarlane's not out there, Ewing's not out there, and Van Union's not out there. So they don't have that key forward to go to. So Waratahs' defence set up pretty well, but unfortunately gave away the free kick.
Cullen will start it out a long way to the left. He did well. He judged that pretty well. He worked it well and kicked the goal.
Yeah, he's worked. He's had his hand on the footy for the last few contests there. He took a diving mark deep in the pocket. Unfortunately, didn't get the goal on that occasion, but his work rate has been rewarded.
So good goal there for Saints now. Port Jimmy and Cullen with goals here in the second term, and Saints push out a little further. 4-5 to 2-2, and we've ticked past 10 minutes of this second term. It was 10 points the margin to Saints at quarter time. Bugler with the goal in this quarter. From a long range shot to an open goal line. Saints doing the ruck work pretty well there. Mitchell Price. Over to Jack Williams. Bangs it down towards the forward line. Clark takes a strong mark out in front. It's a good mark, Raf Clark.
When they can play a little bit more direct, and Raf Clark can play in front of his opponent with that AFL experience, is very hard to beat. But it's more about that quick footy. Get it in. Doesn't have to be pretty, but has to be direct. And you give your forwards every opportunity.
Former St Kilda player will kick it goal. He hits it nicely, leaves it out to the left, and that's all he had to do. He put it straight through. He didn't move much, but it still went through for a goal. So Saints will kick 3 answering goals after a Bugler kicked that goal for Tars. Cullen, Port Jimmy and Clark now have goals.
Yeah, pressure's on the midfield, Waratahs midfield here, and Bowen as the ruckman, and Sam Talbot to try and get their hands on the footy, and they just need a quick reply to stop the flow.
So let's mention some. I've just got a score here too, that quarter time score. Southern District's playing Darwin. Southern District 6-2, leading the Buffaloes 3-4. That game being played out at Fred's Pass, the home of Southern Districts. Here's the run through the middle. Labastida pumps it along to the goal square. Clark in good position again, reached over the top. Couldn't complete the mark. He'll get the spillage though. Now onto the left boot, but they got the smother on. It just went up and down. Port Jimmy there as well. Whistle goes. Free kick. Tars are going to win it deep in defence. Little spearing kick comes out off the boot there of Connor Brown. And Tars go long with this kick, Bowen out towards the wing. Josh O'Brien did well, shakes the tackle, goes with a handball. Made it difficult for his teammate though. Hard run there coming in with Smith. Tars trying to work it up toward Keranua. It's Keranua, their number 6. Being the man who's putting the pressure on Iggy Vallejo. So 315 games, Iggy Vallejo was a big occasion for him. Last week broke the club record. Michael Athanasiou held the previous record of 314 was there. Here's Clark, it's right over the top. Tars do best in defence and they win it and can clear it away there through the agency of McLeish. That's a strong mark taken out there. Velastro doing some of the ruck work.
Yeah, he's a handy player. He's a player that's just had to battle all year, Charlie, and he should have a promising future in front of him if he keeps at it.
He might have to do a bit of kicking practice.
Yes.
He just didn't do that well with that. Iggy Vallejo's given the task of climbing over that fence, getting the ball. Yeah, so no. What do you think the story is with Peter McFarlane? Because this would be the ideal game for him to get some game time. So obviously, he's not right.
No, we might have to ask Kieran to do a bit of investigation at half time there, but he's certainly not on the field. And you're right, Charlie. He was a little bit quiet last week. And this would have been perfect to to sort of work his way and get back into form. But there's obviously an injury there.
Josh O'Brien did well there to cut that off. Saints had the numbers. Grinchik went in as well, number 11 for Tars. Here's Iggy Belojo, cool under pressure, kicks it to the centre of the ground. It's a bouncing ball. And they can work it through Marius Clark, who draws a free kick, I reckon, high and 50. I'm not sure whether there's a little bit of back chat from Green there, but Marius Clark is going to have a shot from probably about 15 metres out, 20 metres, well, a bit further than that, 20, 25 metres out.
Yeah, you can, I guess, always disagree with the umpire, but there's not a lot of point in arguing with him. From what, was a kick from well and truly inside the centre square, is now a shot on goal.
So Raf's got a goal, Marius goes back and kicks, and he's got a goal as well. I'm pretty sure that's a goal. It is. And Saints get another one. 6-5 to 2-2, starting to flex their muscle now, the Green Machine.
Well, the Clark brothers are certainly in amongst the goals today. Xavier Clark played in the Div 1 as well, and he kicked 3, I think, maybe 4. But they've got the goal-kicking boots on.
What's the story with Xavier? Is he thinking about playing at a higher level, or is he happy to sit back there in Div 1?
Yeah, I think it's more about time, Charlie. He's obviously the head coach of NT Thunder, and they're well and truly in planning phase for season 2016, and getting to training is quite difficult. So I think priorities are with the Thunder, and I know the Div 1 team for Saints are a little light on with numbers and just helping out.
Price with a good handball, got it out, and Saints were able to take it down their forward line. Here's a high kick right to the goal line. It'll sit and then bounce back. That's an unbelievable
That is cruel.
Now, who kicked that down there for Saints? I reckon that was that Thompson?
Thompson, yeah.
Marcelli Thompson.
That is cruel. We just called in the first quarter for Waratahs. The ball bounced back infield to John Anstey for Waratahs, unfortunately. On that occasion, it went forward and ended up being a goal. It's a cruel game, Charlie.
It is. But, fortune favours the brave.
It does.
Saints are being brave here.
You're
so
right.
They're pouring them on here now. We said they'd aim for probably 20 goals here. They need the percentage, don't they? So it took them a while to get some go, but they're certainly working it hard now. Here comes Mark McLean out of the middle. Didn't get clear with it. Luke Bath goes high with the tackle, concedes the free kick. Tars with the footy. Barber. Been searching with a kick to Bugler. Kicked a goal in this term. He won't get one from here.
No, expected to go 80 metres though.
Pumps it up towards Old House. Gee, Wilson strong at the footy. Just about pulled in a great mark back there. Musgrove goes well. Turned it straight over. The kick came out off the boot of Gooch, and Gooch went short. Gave it to Keranua. He can go over the top, or will he go for goal? He's going to go for goal. Why doesn't he? Why shouldn't he? Kicks the goal.
Yeah, every time we've seen either side go try and bring the ball inside the corridor, they haven't been skillful enough to hit that target. On that occasion, Jack Musgrove just tried to spear the ball in there. It was a missed kick. Gooch was able to cut it off, and a cheeky little chip over the top to Keranua, and another cheeky little chip, and it bounces through for a goal.
Well, he was thinking about giving it to Hunkin, and then I think he hedged his bets. He said, I'll bounce it in the square, and if Hunkin gets to it and can kick the goal, that's good, and if he doesn't, it'll go through. So he worked it out well in the end. Umpire to ball it up in the middle again, and Tars here have kicked the last goal. They might be able to bring this through. Brodie Ross doing the ruck work for it. Didn't get the kick away, though. Bugler on the charge of the footy. Gets it out towards the wing. He's got it in front of him. He's hotly pursued here by Heath. He couldn't keep it in the field of play, and Heath worried him out of it. In the end, the ball pushed over at the interchange area in front of the grandstand here.
Good pressure there by Tars. Right in front of the grandstand.
5 goals to 2 in the quarter as we tick past the 18-minute mark. Boundary umpire Becky Taylor throwing it in. See Mike Simpson out there, the other boundary umpire. I think he was telling me earlier on he's umpired 480 games. Would you believe that?
There's a lot of football, Charlie. A lot of miles in the legs as well.
So the umpire's a chat to Becky Taylor. It was out of play, there's no doubt. Invites Becky to throw it in. That's exactly what she does. She's in front of the Tiger Brennan stand here at Gardens Oval. Nikki Belager with the two-fisted pump for Jack Williams. Sally Thompson there as well. Tars with the handball out towards Cringic. Hasn't had much of the ball, Cringic. Now he's a chance for the tackle. Spillage comes out in the direction of Josh O'Brien. No clear possession here. Luke Bath come in a little late and over the back. Umpire says no free kick there. We'll ball it up at the 50.
Just Waratahs have a really big opportunity to get an advantage through their ruck. St Mary's are playing Jack Musgrove, Leroy Larson, and with guys like Brody Ross there, just getting the clearance, banging it forward to Oldhouse, they have a real opportunity to get an advantage through there.
Oldhouse had that on his fingertips, didn't he? But he just wasn't able to pull it in. Oh, there's a free kick. Anstey's got free with the footy, but Tars have won the free kick.
They just kept the pressure on their Waratahs, and they just kept willing the ball forward. And you play in front, you get those little opportunities.
So we've gone past 20 minutes. So in this quarter, Tars have kicked a couple. Saints have kicked 5. They can make it 3 here. That looks all right. That's a goal, I reckon. That is a good goal for Tars there. Came from a free kick.
Comes us for a spell, but yeah, he's been working hard, Hunkin, and a bit of reward for effort. Sorry, Cringic.
Hunkin could have got 2 there if that other one had sat for him from Karanua. Did you play? You look like a man who's just played.
I wouldn't call it playing, Charlie. I was out there sweating it out.
Well, I wrote the score down somewhere. I can't see where I've written it, but you got beaten.
We did. We lost to Waratahs. I think we were sitting 6, and there's obviously the Div 1 grade, and Waratahs were 7th, and I think they leapfrog us.
Well, that's not good.
No.
That news is not good. So 10 points was the lead for Saints at quarter time. They're out now by 22 points up inside their 50-metre line. Leroy Larson with the chase. Big ruckman got his hands on it. Mitchell Price couldn't clean it up. Here's Joshy Heath. Is it for him? Green did pretty well.
Hands.
Great work, Green. Got the handball away, and Tars can take it inside 50. Big fly at the back there. Might have been Bugler. He got up amongst them. Couldn't take the mark, though. But that kick was set up pretty well by O'Brien. And Price takes the mark there out there in front of Smith, out on the wing. He made a bit of a meal of all of that. Tars win it. Saints win it through Jack Williams. Could have gone short. Bouncing ball here for Talbot. Talbot with the handball did pretty well, but Josh Heath got in the way, knocked it to his advantage, then couldn't run onto it. He was the extra player back there. Why Sally Thompson comes away, they nail him. He's gone, penalised, holding the ball. Free kick down there to O'Brien.
Yeah, unaware there, Charlie. A bit more voice from his teammates required.
Half back, sitting underneath the footy was O'Connor. And Justin Wilson did very well, because it bounced off O'Connor's chest and Wilson was there to knock it clear to the boundary line.
Really impressed with Wilson's work rate so far in this game. He admitted he was a bit quiet last week. Obviously went on report, and this game he says, no, I'm going to have a crack here, and he's well and truly in everything.
Handball back through Darwin. Kick there by Marius Clark. Tars doing okay in defence. They come back to the corridor. Good kick. And
they're on him.
Gave the handball out. They can run down through Gooch. Goes out wide to Green. Green from the wing. Punches forward. Too many Saints there, though, in defence. They flooded back, Saints, and got the numbers there if they've done. Athanasia with the left foot kick. Sends it out towards the wing. Price had to go down and pick it up. Did pretty well. Athanasia with the charge of the foot. He knocked it out pretty well. Did a good job of it, too. Got it to Herbison. Herbison's kick was good. And Saints have it up on their half-forward line in the hands there of Cullen. Goal in this quarter, Cullen. Bounced over the back. Here's Luke Bath. Some work to do. He does have assistance around him through Thompson. Thompson off the left boot will go to the goal line. It'll bounce through for a minus score. Didn't make the best of all of the possession they had, Saints. They get a minus score.
We've seen from both sides, Charlie, a lift in intensity and skill, and Waratahs going straight down the line, which is something I totally agree with, and see if they can get a forward entry on this play.
umpire might have given the player a little bit of latitude there. Spillage towards Heath. Joshy Heath sends it out wide. Wants Port Jimmy. He falls over. Clark tries to knock it back in field. But again, it finds its way over the boundary line. We saw Daniel Modlop do that with great effect last week in Wanderers' win over St Mary's. Get to the ball and then just tap the ball back into a player in better position.
All that experience, Charlie.
Yep, he's got so much of it, hasn't he? He was such a key player for them. They had a win against yesterday. The
Thompson.
Eagles, the reigning premiers, misses across the face. Out of bounds. Mike Simpson, what's he going to say? Oh, he says it hit the post.
Yeah, he had a lot of free space in front of him. Probably could have kept running for a bit longer and just popped it over the top, but it's all right. St Mary's with a boundary throw-in deep inside their 50.
Almost half time here, little push out. Umpire says that's all okay. Wilson works his way there, loves to get to the front, loves to kick a goal, and he just put his name all over that and said, I'll do the job, and he did.
You can just see, Charlie, that his intent from the onset has gone, well, last week I was quiet, that's not good enough. I'm going to have a crack today, and he's just been driving himself in every contest, going back with the flight of the footy, trying to help the defence out. On that occasion, he just bulldogged his way through and kicked the goal on the snap.
What's he? They call him Ferret, don't they? Is that his nickname?
Correct. He likes
it's
to.
a good name.
It's very appropriate. He will go all day, and he'll try and get under your skin. Yeah. I remember playing against him for Thunder when he was playing for Morningside and Southport. So he's a pretty handy player though when he's on your team.
We don't see many nicknames in territories. But you had one, when you Bulldog, was that your nickname?
It was. I think I spent more time on my knees than on my feet trying to get the footy.
Athanasia came in with the big punch then, but didn't get anywhere. Ball stuck at the wing here. Green goes in and picks up. Oh, a beautiful step from him, and the handball was cleverly done. Gave it off to Shaper. Shaper goes deep with the kick. Althouse in good position under the foot. He just couldn't take the mark. He gets to position, but he just wasn't able to wrap that up. Here's Iggy Valasia with the ball along the boundary line. Couple to beat, did pretty well to keep it where he wanted it. Saints see it towards the boundary line. Some hard work being done there. John Athanasia sees it over and out of the danger area as we tick past 26.5 minutes in this second term, the term that's belonged almost totally to St Mary's, although Tars have kicked a couple of goals. In fact, they've kicked 3 in this quarter with the use of the breeze, but St Mary's have piled them on, and they've kicked 5. Now the whistle's gone. Umpire's found something here. What's happened?
Just a re-throw in, Charlie. We just need a reset. It wasn't the greatest. It dropped about 10 metres short.
So 8 goals 6 to 4 goals 2. That's all she wrote up to half-time. Not a great game of footy, but Saints started to show their class in that quarter. They kicked 6 goals, and they restricted Tars to 3. So they were improved, Tars, but so were Saints.
Yeah, yep, and I think I'm liking what we're seeing from Green for Waratahs. If he can keep his work rate up and help Bugler out, he's just doing everything. He's playing in the ruck, he's playing full forward, he's kicking out on the other end as well. Green and Bugler have been pretty good for Tars, and Krinjic as well with the goal. For St Mary's, Wilson, Raf Clark and Port Jimmy looking pretty dangerous.
So at half-time, it's St Mary's comfortably in front, 8 goals 6, leading Waratah 4 goals 2.
Weather is part of life in the Territory. It's unpredictable when it comes and in what it leaves behind. That's why Territorians need the right insurance cover for their home and contents. Local knowledge is important. Talk to TIO about Territory home insurance for Territory conditions. So before it happens, call 131 TIO or visit tiofi.com.au. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1, bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Jane.
Oh, yeah, Tom. Play on, Matty, straight out. Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl.
Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball.
Play on. All clear.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Patrons are reminded that TIO Stadium is strictly a non-smoking venue and that patrons wishing to smoke must use the areas provided. Patrons are reminded that TIO Stadium is strictly a non-smoking venue and that patrons wishing to smoke must use the areas provided.
Deliberately rushed behinds. A free kick will be awarded against a player from the defending team who intentionally kicks, handballs or forces a ball over the attacking team's scoring line when not under immediate pressure, is being tackled or about to be tackled from the opposition. Umpires will be instructed to give the defender the benefit of the doubt when adjudicating deliberate rush behinds. Martin is correctly penalised for deliberate rush behind when he handballs the ball from a significant distance directly over the scoring line when not under immediate pressure.
You handball the ball from 20 metres out.
Frost knocks the ball directly over the scoring line when not under immediate pressure. He should have been penalised for deliberate rush behind. Longer is under pressure and therefore given the benefit of the doubt. He's not penalised for a deliberate rush behind. Drawing head contact. To discourage players from activities that draw forceful head contact, the umpires are instructed to process the following actions accordingly. Driving the head. A player who is in possession of the ball and drives his head into a stationary or near stationary opponent shall be regarded as having had prior opportunity. He will be required to legally dispose of the ball once tackled. In the following example, Ambrose drives his head into a stationary or near stationary opponent and therefore is deemed to have had prior opportunity. He should have been penalised for holding the ball as he doesn't legally dispose of the ball once tackled. Ducking. Where a player ducks into a tackle and is the cause of high contact, the umpire will call play on. The onus will continue to lie with the tackler to avoid contact above an opponent's shoulders. Umpires will continue to be instructed to protect the ball player. In the following example, Thompson ducks into a tackle and the umpire correctly calls play on. Marking contests. Where the umpire deems there is an unreasonable or excessive push, bump, block or hold that prevents an opposition player from contesting the ball, a free kick shall be awarded against the player. Early and or forcible removal of an opponent would be considered unreasonable. Players are permitted to use their bodies in a marking contest as long as the action does not clearly prevent an opponent from genuinely contesting the mark. The following are examples of marking infringements. Petrie has his arm chopped and is correctly awarded a free kick. Rewalt is pushed under the flight of the ball and is correctly awarded a free kick. Grimes blocks Schultz and is correctly penalised. Lonergan is pushed in the back by Petrie and is correctly awarded the free kick. In 2015, umpires will be stricter in policing of players who intentionally block a player in an unreasonable manner from contesting the ball in marking contests if the opposition player is realistically attempting to contest the ball. Langford is prevented from contesting the mark as he is shepherded away from the contest by his opponent and therefore should be awarded a free kick in 2015. McIntosh shepherds Segler, preventing him from contesting the mark and therefore will be penalised in 2015. Marking contests where players use their strength and do not interfere in an unreasonable manner will continue to be allowed in 2015. Thomas holds his ground and does not interfere with his opponent and is correctly awarded the mark. Holding the ball. Holding the ball can be categorised into 4 areas: prior opportunity, diving on the ball, no prior opportunity, genuine attempt, and legal disposal. Prior opportunity. There will be a stricter policing of holding the ball, prior opportunity in 2015. Players will be deemed to have had a prior opportunity if they are balanced and steady, reasonable time to dispose of the ball, has chosen to take a player on, fend or evade, or had an opportunity to dispose and chooses not to. The following are examples of what constitutes a prior opportunity. Monfries is balanced and steady and has had a reasonable time to dispose of the ball and should have been penalised for holding the ball. Rampy attempts to evade the tackle and therefore deemed to have had a prior opportunity and should have been penalised for holding the ball. Pittard goes to handball decides not to, and is correctly tackled, therefore correctly penalised for holding the ball. Diving on the ball. Where a player elects to dive on or drag the ball into or under his body, if legally tackled, he must successfully knock the ball clear. Failure to do so will result in him being penalised for holding the ball. Segler drags the ball underneath him, is correctly tackled and does not hit the ball clear. He is correctly penalised for holding the ball. Genuine attempt. A player who takes possession of the ball but has had no prior opportunity to dispose will be given a reasonable opportunity to make an attempt to correctly dispose of the football. Players do not have to successfully handball or kick the ball, but must demonstrate to the umpire that they are making a genuine effort to dispose of the football. In the following examples, Walker and Lobie take possession of the ball and fail to demonstrate to the umpire that they are making a genuine attempt to dispose of the football, and are correctly penalised for holding the ball. Illegal disposal. The player who has possession of the ball and drops, throws or places the ball on the ground without making a genuine attempt to handball or kick will be penalised. Fife has control of the ball and does not make a genuine attempt to dispose of the ball when correctly tackled. He drops the ball and is correctly penalised for illegal disposal.
Weather is part of life in the Territory. It's unpredictable when it comes and in what it leaves behind. That's why Territorians need the right insurance cover for their home and contents. Local knowledge is important. Talk to TIO about Territory home insurance for Territory conditions. So before it happens, call 131 TIO or visit tiofi.com.au. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business, Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
1300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kenites high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Jane.
Tom! Play on! Matty, straight out! Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl.
Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball.
Play on! All clear.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
Second half about to get underway here. We are at Gardens Oval in Darwin, NTFL round 13, and the Saints holding sway. St Mary's up at quarter time by 10 points, 2-4 to a goal. Then they kicked 6 goals to 3 in the second term to lead by 28 points, 8-6 to 4-2. Jared Eilert thinks that Saints will probably go away with it in the second half. I do as well, I must say.
Well, it opened up a little bit more for St Mary's midfield, Charlie, in that second quarter. Good to see that Mitchell Price is in the ruck against Brody Ross, and we should know a fair bit about how this game will unfold in the first 5-10 minutes.
So the tap down was pretty good, came from Saints. And Wilson comes away with it. That's a good kick. Gee, he kicks well like that, doesn't he, when he's running, and he kicks around his body, doesn't he? He can, especially when he's going off his right boot around the body. That was a great kick to Leroy Larson. So we get down to Kieran Davis, see if he's heard anything at half time, but here's Leroy Larson along the boundary line. He'll kick from just inside 50. Right in front of where the St Mary's supporters sit. They've always sat at that end of the ground. Used to have a big tree down there, Jared, to sit under.
Yep. I remember that tree, Charlie.
You're probably a scallywag and climb, but it's going to stay to the near side. It does, it misses. Minor score. Kieran, what did you hear during the halftime break?
Yeah, I went down to the St Mary's camp and I saw Peter McFarlane. He is here today. He's on the bench, but he has an ice pack strapped to his right calf. And I don't think he even started on the ground. It might have been a bit of a twinge in the warm-up. And obviously, coming up against a team like Waratahs, St Mary's wouldn't have wanted to push him too hard. They know he's going to be more important in bigger games in a game like this.
Ooh, that's some tough news for him.
Yes, calf injuries, they seem to hang around too. Never had one myself, but Cameron did, and they just seem to hang around. They're pretty hard to get on top of.
But Jared, sometimes in footy, like you get a run of injuries, don't you? I mean, your body almost like you're out with an injury, you come back, you get another one. Do you know? I was talking to Simon Bates from Wanderers, was telling me, he broke his hand, came back, then did his leg, and then done his calf.
Yeah.
I don't know what causes that. Maybe the body just gets a little soft when it's been inactive.
Yeah, well, they certainly test you mentally, Charlie, and that's why you got to make the most of every game that you're out there for. And we wish Peter all the best and trying to get his injury right for the rest of the season.
Tars down to Cringy, and that's a spearing kick. He wants Oldhouse at the back. He got it second grab. And then he gave it to Bugler, who goes around the body. Justin Bugler kicks it goal, and then it does the big break. Oh, it was the big off break. It's gone through for a goal.
Sensational pick up and snap around the body. And again, like you said, Charlie, you work for your luck. And on that occasion, the ball bounced the right way. And nice goal for his second.
Well, he's the go-to player. He's the only multiple goal scorer, in fact, out on the ground. So he's got 2, Bugler, 1 in the second and 1 there. And both pretty good goals too, both of them, weren't they?
Yes, no doubt he'll be telling his teammates all about it after the game, Charlie. As a defender that doesn't normally play forward, you get a couple of goals under your belt, your status rises a bit.
Well, Jackson Bowen is down at full forward. And so they've sent who to look after Bugler? Sent Anthony Long. So I don't see John Enstess down there in defence. Where's he?
Yeah, he's on the bench as well. It's a good pickup.
Might be having a rest as well.
Yeah.
Oh yes, there he is. He's down off the field. It's been a tough year of footy though. We talked about this on the first half up until Christmas was some tough, really tough footy.
Well, I'm not in the tipping comp, Charlie, but it would have been a tough first half of the year to try and get your tips right, that's for sure.
Here's the kick out towards the wing. Wilson in good position here. He knocked it. Larson gets to the footy. Wilson went to run to be the player he could go to. Goes to Larson. His tackle was good. He dispossessed O'Brien and drew the free kick. It was a throw. So Larson wins the free kick on the wing. He thought about a free handball. Didn't go with it. Ben Long starts to run down to his right. Ignores that. It's a wobbly old kick. Once Port Jimmy took his eyes off the footy. Ball went to ground. Trying to get it out. Tars with a little push out there by Waratahs. Good handball. Came from Labastida, and Wilson's kick down towards the full forward line, but cut off in defence down there. Well done. Connor Brown, he's amongst their better players. That's a good kick from him as well.
Here we go. They've got a fast break on the outside now. They can use the ball cleanly, and unfortunately Sam Talbot just juggling that mark, but they're still on.
Ross gave it to him, and they've dropped another mark out there. Might have been Keranua. Saints now will punish them because it's in the hands here of Sully Thompson. Turn it over. Good 1-2. Barber involved in it for Tars. The kick down towards the full forward line. A little bit of holding on. Tars are going to get the free kick. Might be Bugler again. He's on fire. They can't stop him, Jared.
No, he owns this oval, Charlie. It's his at the moment. He can do what he pleases. And,
oh, really hasn't got it. He's had to get it.
He tried to claim it.
He tried to claim it, but the umpire said, no, it's Matt Green, who's been pretty good as well. He kicked a goal in the first term and been a pretty good player. It has an awareness of what's going on around him, it would appear.
There's not much to him, Charlie. He's quite lanky, and but his work rate. He worked pretty hard up the ground to work himself into the game.
He's a right footer, and he spears it home. Good kick from him. So he rewards his team for doing some good work back there in defence to work it down to the forward line, and he kicked the goal.
It's his second too, Charlie. Again, some reward for effort. There was a little bit of confusion there, and the umpire cleared it up. Green comes out with a free kick.
And Bugler would be still spewing over that. He was convinced it was his. So Cringic goes into the middle. And so too Labastina. They wait on the ball to make its way back to the centre. So check that score here, 8-7 to 6-2. So Tars, they're just staying within sniffing distance, aren't they?
Absolutely. They've lifted their intensity through the midfield, playing one-on-one footy. And the umpires have chosen to throw the ball up, which is a good move after I think the first quarter they tried to bounce it. But we're going to get some consistency with the ball getting thrown up in the midfield.
That was good work there from the back with Smith. And he's coughed up a free kick in the end, so it's going to go to Herbison. Herbison brings it inside 50, knocked to ground. Leroy Larson around his body. Flying kick for goals, a nice one. Answers for Saints. And Leroy Larson kicks a good goal.
Yeah, nice clean pick up, and Leroy I think prefers to kick those kind of goals rather than the set shot. And he answers the goal that Green kicked for Waratahs.
It all started in the middle, didn't it? I mean, they got that hard run out of the middle, Saints.
Yes, Herbison breaking away and winning the free kick and just getting on with it, getting the ball quickly into the forward line. That's how you want it on Gardens Oval. You don't be mucking around with it too much. Try and avoid the packs where you can and give your forwards the best opportunity.
So Rivers has got the job on Larson. Wilson is down in the forward line as well. So if Saints can get some ball down in that forward line, they're looking okay down there. Here's Jack Williams off the left boot, kicks it out wide, kicks it out very wide, gave them no chance at all. Boundary umpire to come into play.
That's
There's a discussion between the boundary umpire and the umpire. I'm not sure what happened.
It is out of bounds on the full, which is quite disappointing because Jack Williams was on his left side. That's his preferred kicking side, and it went straight out of bounds on the full.
Came from a long way back that time, didn't he? Did Raf Clark? It's almost like a late acceptance in a race. He just turned up, was all over and got round the front and took the mark. Larson on a long lead takes it at centre half foot, but the ball might have to come back 50 metres, I think. Clark's going to get a shot now from a kickable distance.
Yep, a little bit all confusing at the moment, Charlie. Whistles happening everywhere, but infringement man on the mark.
So here's Clark directly, well, not directly out in front, but all but, isn't it? I mean, it's a slight angle. He goes back and pumps at goal and kicks a goal and becomes the first multiple goal kicker for the Saints. He kicked one in the second, one here in the third quarter. He has 2 for the match, and Saints push their score out a little further now, 9-7 to 7-2. 10-7 rather.
See if we can get back to the business of footy. Raf Clark into the ruck.
Yeah, our score here is wrong. It's actually 10-7 to 6-2. So maybe they gave Gave Tars that goal instead of Saints. Tars will be happy with that. It's a bit misleading, but see if they can correct that. 10-7 to 6-2. Saints in front. Oh, that's a great kick forward. Just cruising past, wasn't he? Raf Clark. You can hear that breeze is blowing now. It's starting to... This is the Mindle Doctor. You know, they have the Fremantle Doctor in Perth, they call it, when that wind comes in.
Oh, okay.
This will be the Mindle Doctor coming in late in the day.
No, it is a reprieve for the players, Charlie. Once half-time's done and dusted, the temperature drops normally by a couple of degrees and the sea breeze comes through and it's a little bit more enjoyable out there.
Scoreboard corrected there, our score there corrected, 10-7 to 6-2. Bugler with the big reach at the back. Krinjic wins it, comes away from half forward. Kick too long. See, that next kick is the one that's important, is you've got to hit targets. He hasn't. This comes out to Ben Long. Matt Green on the mark. Ben Long trying to call his players to come out to where he wants them. Justin Wilson went for it, but what he did was leave the hole behind him, which suited Ben Long, and he gave it off to Henry Labastida. Might not have made Wilson quite so happy. He did all the hard work.
Oh, that's okay. You create those opportunities and create space by running hard, and it's a great kick by Ben Long and Henry Labastida to take the ball in the middle.
Marius Clark's kick down towards the 50-metre line. Port Jimmy wanted it, couldn't pick it up. Josh Heath in there with the tackle. Players go to ground inside 50.
It's the first time we've seen, Charlie, that a team's been able to hit that ball through the centre corridor, and it's just an easy way to the forward 50.
So we were a bit ambitious, thinking Saints might kick 20 goals here. They've got 10, and we've played already 11 minutes of this third term. You'd think more like 15 or 16 is what they get, but they'd want a 10 or 12 goal win here, wouldn't they?
Well, that's what you'd think, Charlie, looking at the teams on the ladder and where they sit in the season they've had so far. But the number of players that have come into the team for Waratahs, they've certainly been competitive, and if they can just get on top of the St Mary's midfield and get a few more forward entries and scoring opportunities, they're right in this, and Saints going to have to work all the way through to the fourth quarter.
So Tars here, have they got advantage? Yes, they have. Oh, no, just as... I think he went to bounce the ball and he thought the advantage, he wasn't going to get the advantage, and he didn't get it as it came up, and he made a meal of it. But still there a chance here. Here's Krinjic with the foot. He brings it out wide. Saints are going to have numbers there first, you would think. And first to get there is Mitchell Herbison. Krinjic, good effort. Gave it to Bugler, went looking for it, couldn't pick it up, Justin Bugler. Now he gets it. Handball was good to him, and then punches it inside 50. This is Ross. Ben Long comes back in the field of play, steps nicely, gets onto the right boot, kicks it up over the wing. Wants Raf Clark. He could have taken the mark, didn't quite get it. And Josh Heath to do the little clean-up work, did really well. Gave it up to Bath on the run. Off the left boot he goes, inside 50, deep kick. Oh, good mark in defence coming. Has been good today, Connor Brown. Strong mark in defence in the back pocket. Kiranur at centre half back, gets it delivered nicely. The option's going to be Barber, finds him. Jack Williams holds him up 50 metres. Jack Williams anticipated that he was going to go, but the umpire didn't call play on, so he can't touch him, and he did.
He did, yep. Very letter of the law on that occasion, Charlie.
So he's a long way out, is Lachlan Barber. I don't think he can kick the goal from there. It's a bit of a breeze to kick into. But he's got a player out to his left who's just come on in Gooch. He hasn't gone there. He's put it up to the top of the goal square wanting a mark. Bugler gets there, takes a great mark. He came in from the side and took a terrific mark.
See, the advantages of a backline player, an experienced backline player that's quality, can read the ball coming in pretty well. Normally, there's a big fist at the end of it. On this occasion, he's up for, and he's got the two hands around it, directly in front at the top of the goal square. We expect him to kick it.
He's got two, Justin Bugler. He's got three. We'll wait on it. No, we don't have to. That's a goal. He's got three. He's kicked two in this quarter, Bugler, and he has got more goals than anyone else today.
And that's a real positive for Waratahs, and like we were saying before, that you go back through the year and you try and find the highlights, the good parts, the positives, and Bugler's leadership over the last couple of years has really developed, and he's a player that Waratahs can build a good culture around and a good club around.
I reckon we've seen some good play here for them. The goal that Green kicked was on the end of some good work, getting it down that end, and that one there from Bugler as well. Some good work got it down there. This is a danger game for Saints now all of a sudden, because Tars are going to come home with this breeze in this last quarter, and it does kick up late in the day.
Absolutely, and that adds a little bit more pressure to St Mary's as well, going into the last quarter. So it's not going to be all one-way traffic. You're going to have to work pretty hard for it.
Gee, Talbot really should have picked that ball up. He didn't. Cringy caught in the tackle and nailed. Saints responding here. Here's Jack Williams with the kick. Goes to the middle. Gave it off to Raf Clark. He's got a couple today. Raf Clark spears it down to half forward. Tars on the clean-up. Bring it away from centre half back. Kick out to wings. A good one. And they'll take the mark out there.
Yeah, Rats are there. Great front and centre. Kept his feet and cleared the ball nicely to Sam Talbot.
So Talbot's kick over the wing was good, and strong mark taken there by Ross. And Ross unloaded, gave it off to Barber. Barber at centre half or out on the half forward flank with a left boot. It was a poor kick. Inside 50 gave Saints a chance to clean it up. Ball goes to the boundary line, seen over there by Keranua.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, Charlie, but effective. That's a good result for Waratahs. To have a forward entry like that and results in a boundary throw and deep in the 50, that's a good result. And great play on work by Brody Ross just to get the ball over the top to Barber on that occasion.
Not down and out, Tars. They get a sniff here. They kick the next goal. They're going to feel pretty confident. That's a handball, came back to Barber. Barber went further back. Fraser Jennings had such a good game last week, quiet this week. They need him to fire. Cringy starting to get involved in it a little bit. Handball straight out into the hands here of Ross. And now the kick out. There's a good one too to Basil Oldhouse onto the right.
Whoa!
Oh, he goes for goal. Right back, but dropping back in defence. Henry Labastida read it really well. That was reverse swing.
How did he do that? Because he's running to the left. He's kicked it out to the right to bring it back around.
Into the breeze.
Remarkable.
Cricketers do anything to be able to do that.
Exactly.
Nice kick straight into the hands here of Marius Clark. So Clark's kick inside 50. Bounces, awkward one to get. Hard run from the back was Connor Brown, seen it to the boundary line. I said before, I was a bit impressed by Connor Brown.
And that's what you want from your defence. You want to push the ball wide. The ball's further up the field around the 50-metre line, so it's not as dangerous in front of St Mary's goals.
So Connor Brown doing the ruck work down there. And Saints are drawing a free kick out of that. Not sure what that was all about, but it's going to be a Saints free kick. Looks like it's going to go to Mitchell Price. He just gives a handball off to Wilson, who says, "Oh, kick the goal!" Touched on the line by Barnes. Did well.
It's the normal instruction for ruckman, Charlie. Make sure if you've got a mark or a free kick, handball off to a little fella.
They do it often, don't they? Well, big men can kick goals, surely. Remember, Saints had a great ruckman by the name of Hans High Stratton many years ago. Did you hear his name before your time? Good fisting work, Talbot. So he's been a bit busy this quarter, Talbot, as well. Liam O'Connor with him out there. But Cringic running to where this ball's going to go in. He's been a bit of a lifter as well, hasn't he?
That's right. The impact that Bugler has on the few goals that he's kicked, you can just see his teammates are jumping on board, and their work rate is lifted a little bit more through tackling, through pressure, and there's not too many players that actually can do that in the Waratahs team.
Well, those Tars supporters, those long-suffering red and white supporters, will be hoping they can kick a goal here in this quarter into the breeze, or another one rather, to add to their three that they've kicked, and then come home with the breeze. Well, who would have thought this? At the 19-minute mark of the third term, Saints would only be leading by 24 points. So it's 10-8 to 7-2. It's 4 goals, admittedly, but I reckon the game has swung a little bit for Tars here. They're playing with a little more purpose. Because Saints did a lot of good play in that second term, but nowhere near as effective this term.
No, like I said, it opened up through the midfield for them, but they just haven't been able to go on with it. And credit to Waratahs, they've been, man-on-man footy and taking their opportunities and just sort of unsettling them at the moment.
If ever they're going to beat Saints, they've got a real chance here. They can't let them kick another goal, I don't reckon. I think that's the important thing. The whistle's gone. Who's got the free kick here? It's going to be a Tahs free kick. This is exactly what they wanted. There was a groan from the St Mary's supporters. The kick is going to be intended for Brown. Takes it in front of the St Mary's bench and then brings it up to the wing. It's a big kick. Oldhouse come from a long way back. Fist was good though. All for St Mary's though. Labastida, Bath, handball over the top. Kick by Cullen. And it's a goal.
The Waratahs defender there on that occasion just sort of pulled out. Maybe he thought the goalpost was a little bit closer than first realised. But Cullen lucky just to get that on the left boot around the corner. Sneaks in for a goal.
And that's the goal that Saints wanted, but that's the goal Tahs didn't want them to get, but they got it.
Yeah, that's right. And the Waratahs, I think, were certainly in front. They had the upper hand in defence and pushing St Mary's wide and stopping a number of attacks. And just that occasion for Cullen, getting the major.
Let's get down to Kieran Davis, see if he's got anything for us. Kieran?
I reckon that was really a crucial goal for St Mary's because Waratahs had the momentum there. I reckon if they kicked another goal, they'd really be coming home strong. You could tell Waratahs really needed the goal, but for St Mary's to kick it, I reckon that takes a bit of life out of them.
Yeah, just it breaks a bit of the spirit, doesn't it, Kieran? But here's Krinjic trying to get his hands on the footy, didn't get it. Down to ground in there was Smith. Clark's kick was really good. Raf Clark, he got it out towards Henry Labastida. They got him around the ankles. He couldn't go anywhere. He's a little frustrated with his effort.
Yeah, the ball's no doubt a little bit slippery. Plenty of sweat over the first half and 21 minutes.
See, they were out of Tahs were out of position where that ball was going to be knocked in. Did you see that they were on the wrong side? Saints were always going to run onto it. Here's Bath off the left boot, kicks it inside 50. It's a good kick. High fly down there came from Port Jimmy. And the ball rushed towards the boundary line and out alongside the behind post. 22 minutes gone, third term.
Can't be too far away, Charlie. There's a few players out there, hands on hips. But it's been a real battle.
So what have Saints kicked here? They had 8 goals, so they kicked 3 in this quarter. And so have Tahs. So they've shared the spoils, Tahs kicking into the breeze, which is a good sign for them.
It's a good springboard into the last quarter, going down to the scoring, well, what is traditionally the goal scoring end. Labastida
got it from Wilson. Great goal. Whoa. He's disappointed in what happened a short time ago, but Wilson gave him that and he rewarded him with a good goal.
He can drop the mark, but that is a sensational goal. And Kieran called it before. You know, that one's going to, I guess, really take the sting out of Waratahs. But they have come back before, and we expect them to do it again.
So it's now 12-8 to 7-2. It's almost three-quarter time here. So the margin was 10 points at quarter time for Saints, 28 points at half time. And the lead out to 36 points now. So they've increased as the game goes on. We're at one stage thinking that Saints were going to kick 20 goals. Well, they've got 12. They need a big last quarter if they're going to get that. Josh Heath caught in the tackle, goes to ground. They're all over him on the ground there. That was Marius Clark doing some good work. Kick for Leroy Larson goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Luke Barr just caught on the wrong side on that occasion. He's a pretty prolific left foot kick. He had to try and squeeze that one to Leroy Larson on his right. Just dropping short in front.
So I'm sure you can hear that breeze. It's really kicked up and it will come home pretty strongly in the last quarter, you'd think, for Tahs. So don't go away if you're a Tahs supporter. You're not completely out of it. Although you might be in some trouble if Saints kick a goal here. This comes off the boot of Anthony Long, was good. Nice kick inside 50, measured it nicely.
Great vision by Anthony Long there, and the want or the the thoughts actually just blaze away when you're in that kind of position, and they just saw Luke Bath sneak away from the pack. He just pulled the kick, and now Luke Bath gets a chance to have a shot at goal from about 30 in front.
He could become Saints' 10th goal kicker. They've got 9, and he does. So it's a pretty good effort from them. They have 10 goal kickers without, their 2 key forwards in there, particularly Darren Ewing, and Van Noonan, who played last week.
I think because they don't have that spearhead full forward, Charlie, they've played a few more players in there, which has clogged it up.
Yeah,
it hasn't been allowed to have that sort of space that if Darren Ewing was playing, you just leave him out there one-on-one and let him go for it. Whereas because they don't have that, they're playing Port Jimmy in the goal square with Cullen, and haven't been quite cohesive with that this game.
So 25-minute mark of the third term here. Saints have kicked right away. 13 goals, 8 to 7-2. And that brings it to a close at 3/4 time. 13 goals, 8 St Mary's to 7 goals, 2. So they were only able to kick 3 goals in that quarter. Tars, but Saints piled on 5. So they've stretched the lead out a little further, haven't they?
But certainly plenty of positives for Waratahs coming into the last quarter. They got within an arm's reach, and they certainly can do that with the goal scoring in the last quarter. And Brown held his own in the back line there. Krinjic lifted his work rate, and we know about Green and Bugler. So if those players can continue to lift and get their hands on the footy, then with a real chance in this last quarter. For St Mary's, Ben Long, I think, worked his way into the game. Again, Wilson and Raf Clark were pretty good contributors.
3/4 time here at Gardens Oval, round 13 of the NTFL, and St Mary's, they played in the grand final last year, up by 42 points. 13 goals, 8 to Waratahs 7-2.
Weather is part of life in the Territory. It's unpredictable when it comes and in what it leaves behind. That's why Territorians need the right insurance cover for their home and contents. Local knowledge is important. Talk to TIO about Territory home insurance for Territory conditions. So before it happens, call 131 TIO or visit tiofi.com.au. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
Jane.
Oh, yeah, Tom. Play on, Matty, straight out. Spin around another metre. Good girl. Good girl.
Hey, eyes on the footy, let's make the ball.
Play on. All clear.
My housemate woke me up to ask where my car was. Turns out we left the front door unlocked and someone helped themselves.
Protect yourself against crime. A momentary lapse is all it takes, even if you are home.
It's pure chance and quicker to steal keys than to hotwire a car. People make it easy and leave keys, bags and wallets laying around with unlocked doors.
Don't be the one to get caught out. A community announcement by TIO, Crime Stoppers and the National Motor Vehicle Theft Reduction Council.
So all set up for the last quarter here. Saints up by 42 points, 13-8 to 7-2. Can Tars make a go of it? Kieran Davis was down there having a listen. Let's go down to him.
Yeah, listen to Rick Nolan. He didn't really have much to say. It was more about team management and getting the rotation, which I guess is going to be featuring heavily in his mind. He wants to keep the squad fit and fresh for the next few games, which are going to be really crucial in perhaps getting that top spot away from districts. Okay,
Kieran, good on you. Thanks for that. So he just wants to win, basically, by the sound of that, Rick Nolan. Percentage doesn't matter?
Always. But I think the key for Waratahs in particular to work themselves back in the game, they've got the home ground advantage, they've got the breeze, they're going with towards the goal scoring end, but if their midfield can get on top and get some clean breaks, they've got the defensive effort to stop St Mary's enough to work themselves back into the game.
So Raf Clark went in and did the ruck work then. And Saints can get this down the forward line, but that's a good mark back there in defence again. Got to put him amongst their better players, Connor Brown.
Absolutely.
Mitchell Price stands on the mark, the big ruckman, so he just decides to run away from him, which is the right thing to do. And then he looked out the corner of his eye and he saw Fraser Jennings. He got his hands on it and then let it slip through. It was a poor drop from him. Handball came out through Herbison. Back to Labastida on the right boot for Wilson. Finds him inside 50. Takes the mark in front of Big Brodie Ross.
Yep, and that's I've seen it twice, Charlie, where it's been effective bringing the ball back through the middle. Didn't work for Waratahs on that occasion, and Henry Labastida picking up Wilson on the fat side. In front of the big man, Brodie Ross.
Talk about David and Goliath. Well, David's got the footy and he's going to go short with the kick. He wants Leroy Larson, has front position. He didn't get clear with it. Rivers did pretty well to win it. Rivers might get this again for a second. He tried to kick it out of mid-air. Poor Jimmy got it.
Smart kick by Labastida.
Just straightened it up into the corridor and found Luke Bath there directly out in front.
Yeah, right option by Wilson just to try and get it off, but the kick just sat a little bit too high, and that's what normally happens when you're kicking into the breeze. Luke Bath with a chance for his second.
He struck that pretty well. It's a good looking kick, and he's clapping and he's got the goal. So Saints get the first goal of the last term off the boot there of Luke Bath. It might be what he's turning into. It might turn into a bit of a bath.
Yeah, like I said, Charlie, it's going to be with the Waratahs midfield to make sure that they get on top of their opponents and get some ball inside their forward 50.
So it's easy when they look up at that score there that they've, Saints are more than double their score now. It's easy just to fall away, particularly when you're losing week after week after week. It becomes just what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's unfortunately it might be a bit of a mindset, but I think again today's team for Waratahs, they have a number of new players in, so they've got every reason to keep battling and trying hard and trying to win the football.
I reckon they've done okay today. I'm a bit happy with them today. Here's Wilson. And just some of those easy marks like that was dropped by Barber, really, this level should not be dropped. There's Barber with the handball and gave it straight off to Saints. They're worrying things. Raf Clark, short kick. Tried to work it through Herbison. McLean across the faith. What's he done?
Out of bounds on the full, and Bugler's pressure there was just relentless and non-stop, and put just enough pressure for Markey to kick the ball out of bounds on the full.
Now they can work this. They've got to get onto this footy though. He's gone for the man instead. Gee, he's lucky not to get away a free kick. Umpire, I saw the whistle go to his mouth and he changed his mind, didn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty lucky. But good work by Cullen coming in, affecting the smother. Keeps the ball inside St Mary's forward 50, and that pressure just builds for the Waratahs defence.
Now Herbison's run down to the goal square. If Saints can get the footy down, they'll kick to a one-on-one. Here's Herbison with it. He goes and caught, gone the 360, gave it off to Heath, off the left boot, snaps it, goal, kicks it. Joshy Heath kicks the goal like a good small man, small forward down there. He was onto it and he kicked the goal.
Yeah, well, that's why he's in the team to make the most of those opportunities. And not too sure why Bugler's remonstrating with the umpire. I wasn't quite happy with the call there for some reason, but St Mary's, another goal.
Well, we said 20. that Saints should kick today. They're on track for that now, really. We've only played 4 minutes of this last term. We'll assume it'll go 25 minutes. So they've got 21 minutes left.
Yeah, and that's the danger, like you said, Charlie. If St Mary's now have got the first 2 goals of this quarter, and it could open up the floodgates. But again, they get some clearances like this, bang it straight into the forward 50. They're with every chance to build a bit of respect in the scoreline.
So Barber put it out in front of Matt Green after he was tackled. Green chased it to the boundary line, did pretty well. Oh, he went with the handball, gave it to Cringy, went around his body. Where to? Down to Saints in the back pocket. Out to Wilson on the half-back line. Wilson up towards the wing. The kick has to be a good one. Wants Labastida. That is a great kick and a great lead from Labastida. Gives the handball off to the running Ben Long. Took his eyes off it. Cut back into the field of play. Back to Labastida. Runs through the centre here at Gardens Oval. Pumps it up the centre half forward. Strong mark taken down there. Port Jimmy under the footy.
That's the footy we were expecting from a top team, Charlie. That's they backed themselves in, hit the targets, ran with the footy and just brought it back through the middle of the corridor. And that's the first time we've actually seen St Mary's, I think, today play like a first team.
And that kick by Port Jimmy was a nice one. So there's a chance here with the footy now. They worked it from coast to coast, didn't they, and got it into the hands here of Herbison. Hasn't kicked a goal today, Herbison. He might just rectify that at the moment.
It was a great build-up.
Deserves a goal. And to make it matters easier for the breeze, stopped instantly.
Yeah, it did too, didn't it?
And he's kicked it right over the top of the goal umpire's hat. Kicks the goal.
Timing was pretty good for Herbison on that occasion. You're right, the breeze just went dead.
Kieran. What do you got there, mate?
Yeah, definitely looked like the breeze was picking up at 3/4 time. You could really notice it starting to blow heavily towards Waratahs' end this quarter, but seems to have dropped off. No luck for Waratahs.
Kieran, what was the mood like down there with Saints? You had to listen. Was there lots of talk from the players? I mean, are they enthused? What have you picked up?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a, they know they've sort of got it wrapped up a bit, but yeah, there was quite a bit of talk. Raf Clark was very vocal, as an on-field leader. It was a good atmosphere down there. Nothing untoward.
Okay. So Clark's going to do the ruck work here. Raf Clark. Comes out Labastida, whistle's gone. Tars going to win a free kick.
Throwing the ball a little bit too tricky on that occasion, Marius Clark.
The Tars player coming off with a foot injury. Down in front of it, doesn't look real good. It's Smith. See, 3 players here, and they really must do a lot better than they've done. They did scramble a kick away, but under pressure, and it was turned over. So 3 players at the fall of the ball. You've got to learn to work 3 players, don't you?
And that's been the difference, I think. When Saints have won the footy in that kind of position, in that situation, they've been able to get a handball out the back and sort of get around the back and take the footy on the other side to give their forwards a little bit more opportunity.
Son of mighty Mick kicked it up towards a half-forward line for Saints. That's John Athanasiou.
Oh, nice. Clever little soccer on that occasion by Jack Musgrove. Pretty lucky in the end.
Iggy hasn't had much to do, but what he's done has always been pretty good. Like that was a terrific kick.
Yeah.
Heath. So trying desperately to clear it away there was Jackson Bowen. Cringy out there, couldn't take it because Iggy Vallejo beat him to the footy out on the wing and then brings it back to the corridor. Nice kick. Links it up through Musgrove. Deep kick. Now mark required down here. Plenty of players in the contest. There's a chance there for Cullen to mark it. Williams speared it in, cut off. Tars in defence, did pretty well. Saints didn't work it well enough. And Tars can run from defence here now, from the back pocket up towards the wing. What's on offer? That kick's not going to be real good because Saints are going to cut it off. It was a half kick, wasn't it? It wasn't really going to go anywhere, and Anthony Long got onto it.
No, they set that wall up pretty well, and it just goes to show that they're able to get the structures right now in a dominant position within this game. And there was no way for Waratahs to get through that.
Labastida went to Bath, and Bath went searching up there for Clark, Marius Clark. High kick comes out. Front position, Tars dropped the easy mark. Down there was McLeish.
Yeah, another big boy for Waratahs, McLeish, pushing down at the fullback position. Traditionally, it's quite hard to find tall timber in the NTFL competition, Charlie. I reckon this year has been, across all teams, the best year for it.
Yeah, there's been quite a few, hasn't there?
Buffs have done pretty well with their recruiting, and Palmerston as well. The Southern Districts have got an unbelievable sort of list of players.
Here's Luke Barth onto a goal. He kicks it. So did pretty well. Saints raffled it around there a bit, and it ended up with Luke Barth to kick the goal, and that's exactly what he has done, and he kicks his third goal for the match, 2 in this last term.
Yep, the leading goal kicker on the ground, with Bugler, I should say. It's not something you'd expect, I suppose, but Luke Barth would be pretty happy with that. And he's worked pretty hard throughout the game as well.
Now this score looks more like what it should be, given their positions on the ladder that we talked about earlier on, 17-8 to 7-2. But let's talk about some of those St Mary's players. You mentioned some before, Ted Liddy and Dennis Dunn and Johnny Pepperell. You'd remember them. Ted Liddy, of course, and Dennis Dunn you would.
Oh, I'm very fortunate to have Ted Liddy present me the number 6 Guernsey when he retired. And I was able to take that on, and yeah, those little things I think St Mary's do pretty well at the club.
What about Dennis Dunn?
Yeah, I got to play with Caps towards the end of his career, and he's just a presence on the field, isn't he? He's just a leader. When he's up forward, in full flight, you just can't stop him.
He just had the longest arms, didn't he? That's incredible.
Legs and arms.
Yeah, so tough to beat. I'm not sure how many times he kicked 100 goals, but it must have been at least 3 or 4 times, I reckon.
Oh, he had some pretty handy players up the field delivering him the footy.
And so dangerous Saints were too at the time when they had Dennis Dunn and Brian Stanislaus up forward.
Yes.
So the ball out there on the wing. It's a boundary umpire to bring it in. And Lincoln Withers, we mentioned him, played for Tars as well all those years ago. What a tough player there was. There probably hasn't been a tougher player in the NTFL than Lincoln Withers.
No, I always knew in for a hard day at the office coming up against Tars, and Link Withers was in the centre. Some really good battles with him, but he was Waratahs' leader through about 10 years of football, and again, a player like that you can build a good club around.
Saints with the run out to Luke Barth on the wing. He's got 3 to beat when it hits the ground. Now surely they can keep this in the field of play. Gee, that really needed to be cleaned up then. Liam O'Connor.
And there, if that ball just stayed in play and was able to get a clean pick up, they had Hunkin and Bugler by themselves down the field, and would have really caught St Mary's out on the attack the other way.
So we've seen that a few times today where Tars have had 3-on-1 and still haven't managed to get possession of the footy and use it to their advantage.
And again, I bring that back to actually training together, playing together over a period of time, and with a fair few new players in the team, it's quite difficult to bring that together, to bring that cohesion together.
So tap down, running the ball was McLean, handball out was Clever, Talbot. Oh, he got one a little late, marginally late, fisted away from defence, was pretty good to the pocket. Athanasiou back there. Working it out is Henry Labastida, been a key defender back there. He's done pretty well. He's searching. I thought he might have been searching for McLean. He wasn't. He went for Iggy Vallejo instead. That's a good option to have, isn't it? The two of them back there. And that kick inside 50 was good. And the mark taken there by Ben Long. Out very wide. Port Jimmy in front takes the mark. Through the elbow out as well. Aratus, that mustn't have been a mark. Or was it? Well, it's going to be paid a free kick, if not the mark. I reckon it was a mark.
I thought it was a mark too, yep. He was right with him though, and the kick had to be perfect, and it was.
John Athanasiou off the left, but he has all the skills. His kicking is very good.
Yep.
John Athanasiou. So here's the run with Ben Long. Got over the top, and Tars there in numbers. Bring it out. Kick lands at the bootlaces there of Valastro. Hasn't had much to do today. The 2 number 11s Cringic and Port Jimmy.
And again, that ball, it was 3-on-1 there in Waratahs' favour, but the kick coming out, although it's a kick out of defence, you just want to clear it. But just was no advantage to any of the Waratahs player, and St Mary's able to bring it around the other side with Luke Barton, a forward 50 entry.
Good mark in defence. The kick wasn't the best.
No.
Had too much time to think about it, I think. Barber gets the ball.
Oh.
Pushes it out towards Talbot. No one within 20 metres of Talbot. Kick for Green just straight through his hands. Bath again gets it on the wing, goes back for Labastida, who's having a pretty good day out. Iggy Velojo is going to run from defence and get this. It's a risky old kick up against a pretty good player in Brown down there, and he slung him away, and Brown's going to get the free kick.
Yep, I think that it was the right decision by Labastida. Just the execution let him down, and yeah, Iggy a little bit disappointed, I suppose, in that in the skills in that passage of play, and gave away the free kick to. Is it Brown?
I reckon it's Brown down there.
He's been
Brown.
Put up forward, rewarded, I think, for 3/4 of solid effort.
It's a big kick.
He's had a crack at that.
That's a big kick. That's a good goal.
Sensational goal on the boundary, 50 metres out.
He's got his hands on his knees. So what did I do? He said, "That's all right." He just gave me a free kick, and I got the goal.
I have some 3/4 time scores out at Fred's Pass. Southern Districts 15-7, lead Darwin 5-14. They've been very wasteful, the bus. Will Farah has 6 goals to 3/4 time.
Gee, good effort, Will Farah, but 15-7 to 5-14. You're not going to win the game if you kick 5 goals 14, I don't think. So Darwin are a bit rocky at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, very promising pre-Christmas. And sometimes that break hurts a team.
Yep.
You know, that just stops that momentum, and it's always hard over that period because you do switch off and you need to, but it's hard to sort of build that momentum and get it back to that level of footy where you're playing at.
Here's Tars with a series of handballs and a late tackle on Hunkin. The umpire says it's okay, but he missed, but the build-up was pretty good stuff.
Some sensational linkage of hands there, and they deserved a goal on that occasion.
Mitchell Herbison takes the mark there in front of Henry Kerenua across half-back for Tars. Herbison's going to spear it into Raf Clark, who just ran away easily there from Brodie Ross, who just simply couldn't go with him, the big ruckman. He's going to have a bounce. Gee, they almost got to him. He did Hunkin, caused him to miss-kick it. That's a free kick. Tars are going to win this free kick out of the middle. It's all a little unnecessary. Barber's got the free kick, uses the handball instead, and then the kick comes out towards the half-forward. Bugler up high. Spillage down towards Henry Kerenua. Kicked off the ground. Labastida was good. Brodie Ross with a little pass over the top, and Spillage comes out of the hands there of O'Connor.
Just another name for you, Charlie, that donned the red and white. Shane Tipper-Montemeri. Pretty sure he had a pretty big hand in Waratahs.
Yes, that's right. Indeed, he did.
Before going over to the Tui Bombers when they come into the comp.
Marius Purantatameri was the man they loved. They used to call him the motorbike.
Yes.
There was really no one could catch him.
He was the aeroplane.
Graham Purantatameri.
Graham.
Yeah. He used to do the dance, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
The aeroplane dance.
Prolific goal kicker. Kerenua.
Yeah, just curls away at the last through from minor score. So we've ticked past 18 minutes. Saints 17-8 to 8-2. Iggy Velojo to bring it in. So Anstess has got an injury. McFarlane's got an injury. They've got a few out. It's a tough time for Saints right now.
It's not a great day for them, no.
Well, we're round 13, Jared, and it's an 18 minor rounds before we go into the finals. Saints, I mean, they're not too badly positioned in second position, but injuries can be costly from now on, can't they?
They can hurt you. I mean, I remember in 2008, 9 it might have been, when we had the rep game. NT played North Adelaide in the rep game, and I think every player that was selected in that team from that game, whether it was in that game leading into the finals, we were injured. We got injured, and it really hurt our chances, and we lost the grand final to Buffaloes. So I can't remember what year it was. It might have been earlier than that. But
gee, every Buffalo listener will know.
Yeah, but that hurt us. I mean, they had the likes of Darryl White and Ben Armat and Joe Anderson played a remarkable game that game, and they did the job on us. But injuries can play a big role.
And that's the two teams that'll play here next week. I think that's a game we're covering as well, isn't it?
Correct.
Saints
Great
and
segue.
Darwin.
It is. And I guess Buffaloes are in a bit of trouble out at some districts this afternoon. And I guess the way Saints have played tonight, we're going to see a cracking game next week with hopefully a few more people in the grandstand, Charlie, and bring a bit of life into the footy after the Christmas break.
Well, they are the oldest traditional rivals, aren't they, Saints and Darwin? Many great games over the years here we saw with Darwin, with their great players, Dookie Bonson and all those players were just fantastic for them. Reuben Cooper, right in the goal square. Iggy Vallejo couldn't get his hands on it, but it was rushed through anyway, so it was a minor score. Short kick out to Wilson in the back pocket. It's got rather dark and might be some rain coming in. Iggy Vallejo gets it back. Connor Brown down there.
Yeah, would have liked to have seen the St Mary's Buffaloes game back in the day here, Charlie. It would have been quite the spectacle, no doubt.
Robbie Cooper, I remember him playing. Joe Cooper, they were all good players. Barney Quoll. Some of the names that spring to mind. We're going to talk a bit about them next week. Kick for Clark, Raph Clark. Thinking about Edmund Johnson a short time ago, played for Saints here many, many years ago, back in the 60s. From the Tiwi Islands, was a fullback. Great player. Very, very good player for Saints. Hyacinth Tungatolam played at that same time.
Yep.
Saints did pretty well with the Tiwi players. Here's Clark's shot. Starts it out to left. That's an educated kick.
Very.
And it's a real good one.
Very educated kick, Charlie. He knew exactly which way the breeze was blowing, and he put the ball in the right position to get the most out of that, and straight through the middle.
Well, we said Saints needed to kick 20. They got 18. They got about, well, I don't know, maybe a couple of minutes. They need to win it out the middle and get it down there in a hurry. 22 minutes gone.
That's Raph Clark's third goal. So, been amongst it. Not traditionally known as a goal kicker and predominantly played in the back line when he was in the AFL, but now he gets a chance in the ruck and kicked a few goals up forward.
So here goes Saints again. That was a good handball. Labastida got it from Heath. Kick down the forward line, gets on the ground. Bath off the left boot, snaps, misses out to the left. Minor score. We just want Saints to kick 20 because we said that, didn't we?
Yeah, well, we've had the opportunity, 18-9.
So, Kieran, don't tell us who you got in your sights down there, but I'm sure you've got someone you're thinking of getting for an interview. Is it a juicy story?
Yeah, I'll be looking at getting Mitch Price maybe. Rick Nolan's obviously the backup. Want to have a chat with the coach, obviously, but if I can get Mitch Price, I'll look to. He's got a good story behind him. He used to be a pro basketball, or used to a potential pro basketball before he had a basketball career-ending injury. Someone decided to get him playing footy, and here he is today.
Okay, so he's doing most of the ruck work today. Kieran Davis on the boundary line.
Oh, strong hands.
It's a strong mark, Wilson. He's got so much courage, hasn't he? Mightn't have been the best kick, but they've got the running support. That's the important thing. It's Thompson. Sully Thompson comes away with it off the left boot, gets it down to the danger area. Ball hits the ground. Tars on the clean-up. Kick out towards Shaper. Haven't called him much. Punch kick came from Labastida, was nice. And the mark taken down there, Luke Bath.
I reckon this is the best game Henry Labastida's had for St Mary's this year. He's certainly worked pretty hard. He's pushed up the ground. He's gone into defence. He's kicked a sensational goal. And since dropping that mark here, Charlie, he's just been very clean with the football.
So that's a good-looking kick. I reckon he's put that through. Luke Barth, he has. That's 19 for Saints. And Luke Barth has kicked 3 goals in the last quarter.
Yeah, so it takes his tally to 4. And, yeah, I think St Mary's wouldn't have been expecting that to get those goals from him in this game. But certainly the midfielder's got on top. Luke Barth's worked pretty hard through there and has created opportunities.
So you'd put a tick, like if you're looking at your forward setup, you'd put a tick against his name, and Ralph Clark's going to kick goals for you anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's an option. And again, I think as a coach, you want to have the versatility to rotate players and cover off if there are injuries to your key position players like McFarlane and Anstey. So they've got that ability.
That was Labastida in there again, working for that footy, and then they nailed him. It was a dubious handball. Very dubious handball there from a frustrated Basil Oldhouse who can't get enough of the footy today.
It was close. He almost got away with it. He's not arguing with it, so he knows. It's a bit like a rugby pass from dummy half, Charlie.
He's had a bit of a dirty day, but he's had a few mates who've had that as well. Clark over the top, spills to the advantage of Saints here. Hamilton McLean goes back in and then out of the field of play. He was just railroaded there by Shaper, who did pretty well to keep him out of the field of play.
Yep, corralled him just enough to give him, to close down his space, and only way Mark McLean had to go was over the boundary line.
So 19 goals, 9 to 8 goals, 5. The margin now I think is 70 points. So Saints will be happy with that. Good day at the office.
Yeah, it hasn't been all one-way traffic though, Charlie. Waratahs certainly pushed pretty hard in the third, and we thought they could actually set themselves up to a pretty big last quarter with the breeze going down the scoring end. But it hasn't been quite the case.
What will Saints take out of this game, Jared?
Yeah, I think they've been tested through their personnel, so they've had to come up with a different formula to what they've normally had, and it's unearthed a couple of handy contributors like Luke Barth and Henry Labastida, and these guys had to take their game to another level. So
Barth kick cut off.
Rick would have had his challenge to rotate a few players to try and get the balance right.
McLeish's kick was a beauty, way out to Big Brodie Ross. Jennings hasn't fired today, Fraser Jennings. Turn it over, Iggy Vallejo. Clark, he's got his eye on the clock, I reckon. All Saints players have. We want the 20 goals, fellas. His Athanasius kick to Larson was good. Larson got it in the bread basket, then dropped it. Now he's in trouble. He's lost it. Athanasiu on the chase. He's not going to get it. They'll block him out of it. And Sam Talbot takes it to the wing. Cringic can't control it. Spills away from him over the boundary line. Rather, that was Hunkin. And Hunkin had the last touch. The game comes to an end. It was a good win there for Saints in the end, Jared.
Yeah, I guess we got to the scoreline that we were sort of expecting, Charlie, considering where the two teams are on the ladder. But Waratahs certainly can take a lot of positives away from it, and they can certainly mix it with the best teams when they want to. Their best contributors were Bugler, Green, Brown. Even going forward, he kicked a goal, and he's certainly one to watch out for the remainder of the season. And Cringic, I thought, was pretty handy towards the back end of the game. St Mary's, I think Labastida worked his way into the game, was a great contributor. Luke Barth, Justin Wilson, and Ben Long as well.
So good win here for Saints. 10 points at quarter time, 28 at half, 42 at three-quarter time. And they kicked 6 goals to 1 in the last quarter to run out pretty comfortable winners by 70 points. 19 goals, 9 to 8 goals, 5. They kicked 11 goals to 4 after half-time. St Mary's is about what the match was all about.
Yes, it was. I guess the thing to come out of this game, I guess St Mary's, because they are in the hunt for finals, is the injuries. So the concerns around Peter McFarlane, John Anstey, Jack Long held his shoulder and had some concerns there for a little bit. But what that does do is provide some opportunities for other players to step up. Would have challenged the coaching staff, no doubt. But St Mary's getting the result in the end.
19-9 to 8 goals 5. The players shaking hands out there. It is round 13 of the NTFL. So that'd pretty much consolidate Saints' position in second spot on the ladder. It's a good percentage booster for them. 70 points in the end.
Yeah, and I think that's the goal for any club, any team coming into finals. It's to try and get that first or second position to give yourself the double chance. And traditionally, St Mary's, and they did it last year. They finished top and had the week off, and they'll be no doubt looking to do that again this year. And we see Kieran with the head coach and Rick Nolan. And when you're ready, we're
just about ready to get down there. So next week, just a reminder, next week the game between Saints and Darwin here promises to be a beauty. Let's go down to Kieran Davis. He's got the coach of Saints with him.
Yeah, I got Rick Nolan with me. Rick, it was a 4-quarter effort. Waratahs pushed you for that 3 quarters. You ended up kicking away. What were your thoughts? You had a couple of big names out. You're obviously resting them for the bigger classes. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, we had to get rid of a few Thunder restrictions, so we got rid of quite a few of them, and just had a few blokes injured. So probably the biggest one, we lost 3 blokes before 3-quarter time in these really hot, hard conditions. Just a really courageous effort, I thought, because it's hard when you've got no rotations, and to push away, especially like that in the last quarter, last half, really good effort.
And it's round 13. Is it time to start thinking about the magic F word, finals?
Yeah, you do. I think we'd be locked in for finals at the moment. So you tried people in different positions. Tried Ben Long in the last quarter through the middle, and you certainly do. A few players we tried back, and a few players on the wing. So we certainly do. You do look at that and try and blokes in different positions.
Well, thanks, Rick. I'll let you address your players now.
Rick Nolan there with his thoughts on the game. He'd be pretty happy with it. He looked pretty pleased with it, but it's a good win to Saints in the end.
Yeah, like you said, it was a battle considering the personnel challenges that they had. But I guess we got the scoreline that I guess everyone was expecting in the end, considering where the two teams are. And he wasn't overly excited. It was just a workman-like effort by St Mary's, and I guess everything now is with the view of finals down the track.
Yep. I don't know if Kieran's still with us, but if he is, Kieran, any word on McFarlane and Anstis? We haven't heard too much from them. Rick didn't talk about either of those players. They had injuries today. Any word on what their situation is?
Nothing so far. I can't say anything. Obviously, Peter McFarlane, I think they just didn't want to risk him. Same with Anstis. I wouldn't think they'd want to bring him back onto the ground. You know, they might have, if it was a big game, they might have had to been forced to come back on, but I don't think they were going to risk him in a game like this.
All right, mate. Good. Thanks for that. Kieran Davis on the boundary line. Last comment from you, Jared.
No, look, I guess the result that we were expected happened. Some pretty good contributors across both clubs, and we look forward to the next round when we're back here, Charlie, with St Mary's and Buffaloes in an ultimate traditional rivalry, and we expect a lot more people at the ground.
We will indeed. We can bring you that match next week. You can check it out right here. And Beautiful Gardens Oval says goodbye to you from Darwin today with the news that St Mary's have won over Waratahs by 70 points. Final score here, St Mary's 19-9 have beaten the Warriors 8 goals 5.